Turn that off right now. You are waking the entire neighborhood during this violent snowstorm again. At exactly 6:15 a.m., HOA President Priscilla Thornfield storms up my driveway waving papers dramatically. Her $1,000 boots sink into snow I already cleared for half the elderly neighbors nearby. She screams about $500 daily fines for disturbing community peace and quiet. I stand there holding my snowblower handle, staring at the audacity unfolding before me. For 15 winters, I have cleared every driveway on this street without charging anyone. Mrs. Henderson cannot grip a shovel because arthritis twisted her fragile fingers years ago. The Martinez twins wait each morning for safe sidewalks before walking carefully to school. Even old Bill's golden retriever expects a cleared path for his slow morning walks. But today I am suddenly labeled a public nuisance and neighborhood menace. Priscilla flips her highlighted rulebook open like she is presenting evidence in court. She tells me I clearly do not understand updated HOA compliance standards. Her voice slices through the cold air sharper than the wind itself. Something inside my chest tightens, then quietly hardens into resolve. She believes she is correcting a stubborn old man publicly. She has absolutely no idea who she just challenged today. My name is Marcus Kellerman, retired land surveyor with 32 years' experience. This corner property once belonged to my grandfather before suburbs swallowed farmland whole. Developers carved Willowbrook estates around our remaining 5 stubborn acres carefully. My late wife Sarah and I chose to stay despite rising property taxes. After cancer took her 3 winters ago, silence became my loudest companion. Snowblowing before sunrise became therapy that steadied my grieving heart. The steady vibration of the engine kept darker thoughts away. Helping neighbors gave structure to mornings that otherwise felt painfully empty. Then Priscilla arrived in summer 2020 driving a white Tesla confidently. She introduced herself as a Berkeley-educated attorney, specializing in regulatory compliance. Within 60 days, she secured HOA presidency through a rushed online vote. Half the elderly residents never even figured out how to log in. Suddenly, newsletters arrived printed on intimidating cardstock filled with bold warnings. Landscaping violations multiplied faster than weeds after heavy spring rain. Christmas decorations were timed down to the exact removal hour. Even garden gnomes were labeled visual clutter under revised aesthetic codes. My snowblower apparently qualified as disruptive mechanical equipment under Section 12. She filed an official county complaint citing excessive early morning noise violations. Municipal Ordinance 847.3 was highlighted twice in her attached documentation. What she conveniently ignored was the winter maintenance exemption clause. Snow removal between 6 and 10 a.m. remained fully protected. The county dismissed her complaint within 24 unimpressed hours. That dismissal embarrassed her more than she expected publicly. 2 days later, a restraining order request appeared in my mailbox. She claimed I intentionally intimidated her with aggressive mechanical operation. Deputies serving papers avoided eye contact while handing them over awkwardly. That night, I pulled out my grandfather's original property surveys. Faded ink lines still mapped boundaries with astonishing precision. Something about Oak Street's western edge never aligned properly. I measured distances twice using professional tools I still maintained. The numbers confirmed what my instincts already suspected strongly. 40 feet of roadway cut directly across untransferred Kellerman land. Developers assumed an easement would be processed later through paperwork. Bankruptcy halted construction before final property transfers were completed legally. For 15 years, the neighborhood unknowingly drove across my private strip, including Priscilla's spotless Tesla every single dramatic morning. I hired property attorney Daniel Kowalski the very next afternoon. He reviewed deeds, subdivision maps, and county filings silently. Then he leaned back and exhaled slowly with disbelief. "Marcus, there is absolutely no recorded easement on this strip. No dedication documents, no condemnation filings, no signed transfer agreements exist. Legally speaking, Oak Street partially belongs to you alone." I felt anger mixed with a strange sense of clarity. Priscilla had threatened my rights without understanding her own vulnerability. We drafted formal trespass notices addressed to the Homeowners Association. 30 days were given to negotiate a permanent legal easement. Failure would result in restricted access across my retained property. When notices were delivered, panic rippled through Willowbrook Estates immediately. Emergency HOA meetings were scheduled with urgent subject lines. Priscilla framed me as a hostile neighbor holding families hostage unfairly. Local reporters arrived sensing suburban drama worth broadcasting publicly. At the public hearing, she spoke first with theatrical confidence. She described me as unstable, grieving, and dangerously territorial. When my turn came, I carried grandfather's original deed carefully. I projected survey overlays onto a large portable screen clearly. The crowd fell silent as boundary lines illuminated reality starkly. 47 households depended on land never legally transferred away. Daniel explained potential liability for fraudulent court representations calmly. Mentioning perjury statutes drained color from Priscilla's confident expression instantly. I offered a solution before tensions escalated further publicly. A permanent easement could be granted for one symbolic dollar. 3 non-negotiable conditions were attached clearly and respectfully. First, Priscilla would resign from HOA presidency immediately. Second, all harassment complaints against longtime residents would be withdrawn. Third, a community assistance fund would be established cooperatively. Murmurs turned into applause, spreading row by row outward. Within 48 hours, signed agreements were finalized legally. Priscilla's resignation email arrived before sunrise 2 mornings later. Her Tesla disappeared from the driveway shortly after quietly. County records updated Oak Street with proper easement documentation finally. The steel gate I ordered remains open as symbolic reminder. Every winter at 6:15 a.m., my snowblower starts confidently again. Now neighbors bring coffee instead of complaints before sunrise. Because property rights matter deeply in communities built on respect, sometimes the quiet old man knows the law better.